Namaskar. His Excellency Mr. Oleksiy Perevezhentsev, State Secretary, Minister of Economic Development, Ministry of Economic Development and Trade of Ukraine. Excellencies, Honorable People's Deputies of Ukraine, representatives from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, members of the diplomatic community, members of the Indian diaspora, ladies and gentlemen. It's an honor and a pleasure to welcome you this evening on the occasion of the 70th Republic Day of India. As you may be aware, it was on 26th January 1950 that we Indians gave ourselves a constitution which has withstood the test of time and complexities of an extremely diverse country for the last 70 years. Today, India is the largest democracy in the world, with 1.25 billion people, and serves as a shining example that diversity can coexist, that differences can be resolved peacefully. I particularly thank His Excellency Mr. Oleksiy, State Secretary, Ministry of Economic Development and Trade, for gracing our National Day as chief guest on behalf of the government of Ukraine. I would also like to congratulate Ukraine for its substantive progress on many fronts in 2018, including reforms in various sectors such as decentralization, privatization, healthcare, education, pension, modernization of economy and infrastructure. I also convey my best wishes on behalf of the people of India for a more prosperous and peaceful year 2019. When you speak of India, you conjure an image along many dimensions. India is truly a kaleidoscope, and a small example of that was displayed to you in the little exhibition that we have managed to organize. India is a land of colors. There are many colors in the diversity that India projects. This can be seen in our customs, food habits, festivals, religions, languages, ceremonies, and philosophies. At the same time, we are a unity in diversity, and this defines India as a country. India is also a land of governance. We hold the largest elections in the world ever, with over 800 million voters. We embraced democracy right at independence, and our practice of democracy has shown the world how a diverse and large country with many challenges can channel the will of the people into government policies that promote all-round and inclusive development. Our foreign policy is value-based and displays remarkable consistency in its practice and implementation. India is a land of growth. Our consistent growth of 7.5 to 8% has propelled India into the top 5 economies of the world, and in turn has generated resources that are being utilized for socio-economic development of the country. India is also a land of empowerment. Constitutional guarantees for freedom of thought and expression, human rights, equality before law, equal treatment to all sections of society, and gender empowerment contribute to make India this land of empowerment. India is a land of heritage. We have 22 official languages, more than 1,000 dialects, 37 heritage sites, world heritage sites, thousands of examples of marvelous architecture spanning over 2 millennia, immense diversity in flora and fauna. Bollywood, yoga, Ayurveda are some of the great cultural exports of India that impact lives of billions of people across the world. And most importantly, India is a land of dreams. With 1/6 of humanity, India is experiencing economic and social transformation on a scale which has been rarely seen in the history of the world. About 65% of India's population is below 35 years of age. The youngsters of the country are taking the nation to greater heights by exploring and engaging in new fields such as startups, BPOs, e-commerce, mobility, robotics, etc. While agriculture is the backbone of the country, India is also a leading power in the IT and services sector. We have one of the best space programs in the world. And we are the first country, if I may take pride in that, in the world to send a spacecraft to Mars successfully in the first attempt. Our next dream is to send an Indian into space on indigenous technology by 2022. We have made massive strides in renewable energy. In the city of Cochin, India has built world's first airport operated entirely on solar energy, and is also the pioneer, along with France, of the International Solar Alliance, signed by more than 100 countries. The government, through its focus on reform, perform, and transform, is shaping India as one of the most attractive, resilient, and thriving economies. This includes flagship programs such as Make in India, Startup India, Skill India, Digital India, and economic reform measures such as GST, or one tax, one country, one tax. In 2018, India has seen a meteoric rise of another 27 spots to reach 77th place in the World Bank Ease of Doing Business rankings. India is also transforming the lives of its poor through the Jan Dhan Yojana, the world's largest financial inclusion scheme. Over 320 million Indians who have never crossed the door of a bank before now have bank accounts. This has enabled the poor to receive allotments from the government's welfare programs into their personal accounts through direct benefit transfer, which has ended waste and corruption in the system. Easier access to credit for small businesses through the Mudra scheme, end-to-end empowerment of farmers through reforms across the agricultural sector, housing for all, and also better opportunities for women in India have been top priorities of the government. In September 2018, India also launched the world's largest state-funded health insurance scheme. And here we are talking of numbers. The Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, under which more than 500 million people, and I repeat the figure, 500 million people, will be provided health assurance every year. This unprecedented social and economic transformation will ensure that India achieves our sustainable development goals of 2030 under the aegis of the United Nations. A prosperous, better connected, and skilled young India will be the engine of growth for the whole world. As our economy grows, our global and regional integration will increase. While the prosperity of Indians, both at home and abroad, and the security of our citizens are of paramount importance, self-interest alone does not propel us. India's own engagement with the world is rooted in its civilizational ethos, which has at its heart coexistence, pluralism, openness, dialogue, and democratic values. Through the centuries, guided by Lord Buddha's message of compassion and Mahatma Gandhi's principle of truth and non-violence, India's strength and success has made her a force for global peace, stability, and prosperity, and an anchor for all-round regional and global progress. We have also made an unprecedented outreach to our diaspora across the world to tap into their skills, experience, resources, and ideas. On the global stage, India has risen to provide leadership against the major challenges facing humanity today, be it climate change, terrorism, sustainable energy, much needed reforms in the United Nations, and a host of others. With a diplomacy for development approach, India is focused on building partnerships to promote a transformation. Ukraine plays an important role in this process and provides a win-win situation for both our countries in various fields. Bilateral trade in the first 10 months of 2018 was close to $2.5 billion US. I would like to highlight that India ranks first in terms of exports of Ukrainian goods to the countries of the Asia-Pacific region, and is the 5th largest buyer of Ukrainian products among countries in the world. We share synergies in the field of IT, defense, education, agro-industry, energy, manufacturing. We can build lasting partnerships in India's transformative flagship programs, such as Make in India, Digital India, as well as in harnessing solar energy, as Ukraine also moves towards securing energy independence. New products have been added into the export basket of both countries recently, and there is much potential in economic and industrial cooperation. Pharmaceutical products are the mainstay of India's exports to Ukraine. There is an increasing awareness in Ukraine about the usefulness of good quality, reasonably priced Indian medicines, which can provide much needed care to deal with life-threatening diseases. Access to health care and affordability of medicines are the guiding principles in this cooperation. There is also an increasing awareness about the benefits of the timeless principles of Ayurveda. We are going to make stronger efforts to spread this message in Ukraine in 2019. 2018 has been a fruitful year in India-Ukraine relations. The 6th Intergovernmental Commission meeting on trade, economic, scientific, technical, and cultural cooperation, covering all aspects of the multifaceted cooperation between India and Ukraine, was held in February 2018 here in Kyiv. And this has laid a solid foundation for further development of bilateral cooperation. The joint working group meeting on defense cooperation was held in June. Most recently, in January, His Excellency Mr. Stefan Kubiev made a visit to India to represent the trade, economic, and investment potential of Ukraine at the CII Partnership Summit held in Mumbai, India. This is his second official visit to India. Such initiatives go a long way in strengthening our bilateral cooperation. We have also seen the launch of direct flights connecting Delhi and Kyiv in May. Over 11,000 Indian students study in Ukraine, and India leads the list of states whose citizens study in Ukrainian higher education institutes, and the numbers are only increasing. I'm also delighted to note the immense popularity of yoga in Ukraine, which is India's gift to humankind. The 2018 International Day of Yoga events saw active participation of over 10,000 people in 22 cities across Ukraine. I would like to thank all the city authorities as well as the government of Ukraine for their support in making the International Day of Yoga a big success and in spreading the message of yoga to the people of Ukraine. I would like to underscore the popularity of Indian culture in Ukraine. In 2018, the 18th edition of the All-Ukrainian Indian Dance Festival, called Rhythms of Joy, saw participation of over 300 artists from all over Ukraine performing Indian dances. It was a truly glamorous event. In the same light, I hope that you will enjoy the cultural program organized for you today. The Cultural Center in the Embassy of India in Kyiv also offers various classes, in yoga, Indian classical music, dances, tabla, Ayurveda, Indian painting. You're all invited. In 2019, we also celebrate the 150th birth anniversary of the father of modern India, Mahatma Gandhi, who was not only a great son of India, but a visionary for the whole world, whose message of striving for truth and non-violence is a lesson for all humankind and a symbol of hope for the future. I take this opportunity to thank my diplomatic colleagues for their friendship, warmth, and goodwill. I also welcome and thank all my Ukrainian friends whose friendship and cooperation I cherish. A big thank you to the support from the Office of the President, the Ukrainian government, the Verkhovna Rada, and all the ministries, including the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Economic Development and Trade, Defense, Health, Infrastructure, Agriculture, Education, Culture, to name a few. I wish to congratulate my fellow Indian citizens who live and work in Ukraine and have come here to celebrate this important event together with us. I wish you success and express the readiness of the Indian Embassy in Kyiv to help you whenever required. Special thanks at the end to my staff from the embassy and my colleagues in the embassy, whose tireless work and cooperation has made the celebration significant. I conclude by asking all guests to visit our website. All the details are there to know about upcoming developments organized by Embassy of India in Kyiv. In the end, I'd like to conclude with a couplet in Hindi that talks about friendship and the strength of friendship. It goes something like this: बने चाहे दुश्मन ज़माना हमारा, बने चाहे दुश्मन ज़माना हमारा, सलामत रहे दोस्ताना हमारा. We have many adversities to face in the world, but our friendship will always keep us together. India-Ukraine friendship. And it's sung a bit like this: बने चाहे दुश्मन ज़माना हमारा, सलामत रहे दोस्ताना हमारा, सलामत रहे दोस्ताना हमारा, बने चाहे दुश्मन ज़माना हमारा, सलामत